Hello and welcome to my channel, You Are the One, where we talk all things law of assumption to help make your manifesting journey easier and more fun. And today I am following on from the previous video around narcissism and how to actually shift this character either out of your movie or to recreate this character so they are showing up as a loving, healthy, whole character in your movie and offering a relationship that is healthy, whole, and loving, and all the things that you are worthy and deserving of. So that is what we're doing today. Stick around. My name is Hedley Derenzie. I'm a qualified life coach and author specializing in the law of assumption as originally taught by the great American mystic Neville. It is the stories that we tell that create our reality. So if you want to change any part of your reality, then you have to know how to change the story first. And if you'd like to create the most amazing reality, then it helps to know how to tell the most amazing stories. And that's where these teachings can really help. And that is why I am here. I want to help you to tell the most amazing stories that you can possibly imagine so that you can experience the most amazing reality, because that's why we're here. If you would like support with this, I am available for coaching. I have a number of options, so you can check that out. I also have a free Set Yourself Up with the Ultimate Self-Concept course, which is the ultimate story that you want to be telling about yourself. You'll find those details in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, today we are talking about narcissism and how to recreate this character or remove this character if that's something you would like to do. But it is really addressing this narrative of the narcissist in relationship, because I know this is something that a lot of you are dealing with. In fact, I know it's something that a lot of you have been brought into law of assumption because of a relationship situation and a dynamic that has just been really unhealthy, really toxic, and just causing a lot of pain and suffering. And that is why you go searching for answers. So in the last video, I talked about the dynamic between the narcissist and the empath. They tend to be two sides of the same coin, that coin being the assumption of unworthiness, of not being loved, not being lovable, and then having to go out into reality and to get that love. Now, the narcissist does that overtly by taking what is there for them. They will take, they will manipulate, they will use all sorts of strategies in order to take love, to get love, and you know, that sense of power. And then the empath, which is often the perfect match for the narcissist, will get love by overgiving. So there's an assumption that because I'm not worthy of love, I have to overgive. I have to give everything to this person. And of course, that's a perfect match for the narcissist, who's going to take. And then of course, when the empath gets strong enough to kind of go, I'm out of here, they will remove themselves from the dynamic. And then what do you think happens? The narcissist just turns things on, and suddenly they are just chasing, they are coming after the empath, they're saying all the right things, doing all the right things, showing up in ways that they, you know, like didn't before. And then of course the empath is like, oh my God, this is the person that I've been wanting, you know, to show up for all this time, and suddenly here they're showing up. So they go back in. And then there's a little bit of a kind of where it's like, I don't know, it could be a couple of days or a week or whatever. It's a very short amount of time where things are really lovely. And then that dynamic just creeps in again. So if there is a narcissist character in your reality, I want to be very clear. And I also want to be very gentle and compassionate when I say this. That's coming from you. It is not your fault. You didn't deliberately create this. There is a setup that occurs for all of us where we inherit certain assumptions coming into this experience in physical form. It's part of the setup so that we can have the adventure that we can have in order to awaken to who we are, which is God in human form. So nothing is your fault. This is not your fault. It's not like you went out and created this situation to hurt yourself and cause pain for yourself. So that is not what this is about. But what we need to recognize is that, yes, consciousness is the one and only reality, and your reality is reflecting back your consciousness. And that means the assumptions that you're holding in subconscious, because the subconscious is the movie projector and it is reflecting back the assumptions you're holding. Now, because a lot of those assumptions were inherited between the ages of 0 and kind of 8, and like around that age is when we're in the full subconscious mind and we're just like observing the external world and assuming things based on those external events that are happening to us, then that's the setup, you know. So a lot of the assumptions that we're holding, we're blind to, we cannot see. We are not aware of them consciously, and that's why it can be super confusing. But I just want to be very clear that you are not a victim to your reality. You are causing your reality. Yes, you're doing it unconsciously and it's not your fault, but it is coming from consciousness. Therefore, you can change it. Going out and trying to change this character is going to be fruitless. You are going to bump up against reality time and time again. You're not going to get far with that, because you might get some movement initially, but the character will show back up as they were, because you haven't changed the cause of why that character is showing up the way they're showing up. So a narcissist is just a character in your movie. And I know it feels very real. And if it's dangerous, get out of there. Look after your physical health first. Your 3D matters. Your 3D is matter. It matters from the perspective of, if you don't have a physical body that is in good health and safe, you cannot have this experience. You cannot have this adventure of being God in physical form. So it is important to keep the 3D body safe. So if you are in an unhealthy situation, you're in an abusive situation, you're in a dangerous situation, you do need to seek help and safety in order to keep your physical body safe, so that you can continue this amazing adventure. We need this body. We need this. This is our vehicle. If you don't have your vehicle, you don't have an adventure. You don't have this experience. Now, that's the other thing. You need to be able to create the space in order to do this work. If you're in survival mode, you can't be law of assumptioning. Like, your body is fixated on survival, therefore your adrenals are running, your cortisol's up, your stress levels are on. Like, the red lights are flashing saying, we're in danger, get safety, get safety. So when the red lights are flashing, meaning your nervous system is switched on and you're in fight or flight, that is not the time to be law of assumptioning your way through this. That's not the time to be kind of reflecting on, okay, how did I set this character up and what are the assumptions running? That's not the time. But when you have created that space in your reality to take a step back and look at it from the spiritual perspective and implement the law of assumption teachings, then that's where things can really open up for you, because you will start to see how this story was set up. It's running in your consciousness, and it's just your subconscious is projecting this story onto the screen of your mind. And when you shift the story, when you shift your focus, you will start to have a different experience. Your reality will start to reorganize itself and reflect back the work you're doing in consciousness. So how do we recreate or remove the narcissist character from our reality? And that's something that I have really done. That was definitely in my old story, in my setup. And I've written books about it. I've done all sorts of things with it. And I have finally got to a place where those characters do not show up. And if they do, like if there's like an inkling of that character showing up. In fact, I had one recently where I met this person and we were chatting, and I just noticed some of the characteristics where they were doing all the talking, and I was like, oh, okay, I recognize this behavior. And I did the internal work, and then this person, like within a week, moved out of the area to another area. I've never seen them since. And I was like, wow, it's pretty quick these days if I see it. And thankfully I don't really see it that often. How can you do that, and how did I do that? Well, first you have to own, one, that you are the cause and creator of your reality based on what you're doing in consciousness, and that the characters are you pushed out reflecting you back, and they're reflecting back both your positive characteristics and the not so positive characteristics, the negative characteristics. And whatever you're saying is them and not me, that's you, that's your blind spot. So you want to own the narcissist within you. You want to own all the characters within you. Remember, your characters are reflecting back your characteristics. And those characteristics that you can either see and you're accepting of, and they're also the characteristics that you can't see that you're not accepting of. And the narcissist is the character that you can't see exists within yourself. Remember, you're God, you're infinite consciousness, you're everything. Everything exists within you. And whatever you're rejecting in yourself is going to get projected out in a character reflecting you back to help you awaken to the fact that you're God, you're everything. And then once you claimed yourself as that character, then you get to choose whether you have that character in your movie or not. As long as you're saying that's not me, you don't have choice over it. Once you bring them in, I am the narcissist, I am the empath. You are both characters in this movie, in this scenario. So once you claim both, Then you can start to look at, okay, well, what's the character that I want to experience in my reality? If I'm the narcissist and the empath, once you've owned both with the I am technique, so I am the narcissist, I am the empath, then you get to choose. And I would choose that I am giving and receiving equally. Because remember, in that dynamic of the narcissist and the empath, there is a taking energy with it. Whereas when you're giving and receiving equally and naturally, kind of it's a natural organic experience and it's healthy. Giving and receiving is healthy. So in order to change the narcissist, you have to claim them within you. So I am the narcissist. So claim all of the projections that you have of that person. You claim them as I am. And then once you've claimed them as I am, you rewrite that story. So if you say they are manipulative or they are a narcissist, they are manipulative, you'd say I am a narcissist, I am a manipulator, or I am manipulative. And then you would say I am compassionate, or I am giving and receiving equally, and I am honest and open and direct. Now, what you can do is you can reproject that new story onto them. So they are compassionate and caring and loving, and they are giving and receiving equally. Or you can remove them from your reality. And I will link the video where I talk about removing somebody, deleting somebody from your reality. This is part of that process. There's nothing wrong with deleting someone from your reality, but you cannot do it from a place of resentment and anger. You have to own it within yourself first, and then you get to choose. Remember, you're everything in your movie, including the casting director. And if somebody has shown up in your reality and they've helped you awaken to a part of yourself that you couldn't see, then it possibly is their role in your movie has been completed and there's no reason for them to continue showing up. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. If you want to recreate them, then what you would do is you'd own it within you, you'd turn that story around, and then you'd reproject that story onto them. And then you hold that story long enough for them to show up as the different version that you've now assumed them to be. It's all coming from you. It's all coming from your consciousness. You are not a victim to your reality. You are the cause of it. Yes, given it's caused by a lot of the assumptions that were inherited from when we were a really young age and we didn't know about this. So yes, it can be confusing, but the law is sound. You are the cause and creator of your reality based on the assumptions that you're holding in consciousness. So if you're not sure what your assumptions are, then just look at your reality and ask, is it favorable or unfavorable? And then you'll know the quality of the assumptions that you're holding in relation to that area in your life, in particular, let's say with relationships. So do not be swayed by the narcissist. Do not be afraid of the narcissist. The narcissist is a part of you. And just like any characteristics, you get to put boundaries around those characteristics that live within you. Like if you're everything and you have every possible characteristic existing within you, as in you have the potential for every characteristic in you, there are going to be ones you don't choose to have in your reality. Like you're not going to choose to act out on every characteristic that exists within you. You get to choose. However, you have to own it that it exists within you first in order to choose what to do with it. You cannot change what you can't acknowledge exists within you first. It is all coming from you. You're God. You're everything. And when I say God, I just mean consciousness, imagination. All states exist in consciousness, and you are consciousness. So therefore, everything exists within you. So own it all. Just put the I am in front of it. That's the easiest way to do this work. That's all I do. Like when somebody is coming at me and I'm like, whoa, I'm just like, oh, I am that, I'm that. I change the story and boom. My reality, just like these days, it's fast. It's like, whew, like this work is awesome, awesome, awesome. I just like, it is awesome because when you start to see your reality reflecting back the changes, you're like, oh my God, this is actually how things work. This is how things work. It comes from consciousness. Anyway, I hope that helps. And if you would like support with anything that I have talked about in this video, then do reach out. I am available for coaching and I'd love to support you through any of this or any other process as well. Please remember, you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you and assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you and for me too. Thank you so much for listening. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.